Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at tasks and communication logs. So communication is a very important part of running an education center. If we have something that we need to follow up with as far as a student or a parent and we drop the ball, oftentimes they're not going to stick around for many of those events and they're going to move on to another company. So it's really vitally important that when we say we're going to do something that we follow up on time. Now oftentimes communication means sending an email, let's say, to an instructor to follow up or get back to you about something, or maybe to another administrator to follow up with a parent about an SAT program, let's say, in the future. But an email or a phone call alone requires the administrator who's assigning this task to be aware, constantly aware of, did they get back to me or not? And if they didn't get back to me in time, I need to follow up with them again to make sure that we don't drop the ball. So what we've created is a solution for that, which is a form of communication with accountability that allows the person who's creating the delegated task to go ahead and set it and forget about it, knowing that they're going to be informed when the task is completed, and more importantly, when the task is past due. So in order to do this, when you log into the system here, we have our tasks assigned. We also have my tasks. So my tasks are the tasks that other people have assigned to me. I don't have anyone in this demo center here. And then I have tasks assigned. Let's go ahead and take a look at tasks assigned here. Now you'll see that there's a lot of red tasks here. That means that a lot of my imaginary instructors and administrators in this LearnSpeed demo have tasks that are past due. Now if this was if we were actually logged into my education center, Wells Academic Solutions, you wouldn't see this. There might be one or two and I'd be following up with them very quickly about those past due tasks. So anyways, the point is that you're not going to see a big block of past due tasks. We're just seeing that because we've created a bunch of tasks in this demo center and they've subsequently not been completed. Okay, so let's take a look at what it would look like to create a new task. Let's say that we have a scenario that an instructor is going to be working with a new student in 2 weeks, and we want to make sure that they're ready to work with that student and they've read the work order and that they've confirmed with you that they understand that this new student's coming in. So I'm going to add this task. The subject, I'm going to put new algebra 2 student, and I'm going to make as a topic a new student, and then let's make this to Jennifer is the instructor. I'm going to make this about Pablo. He's my favorite imaginary demo student, and then I'm going to have a description. So I'm going to put Pablo will begin tutoring on, let's say, begins on 3/26. Please read the work order and confirm that you are ready to work with Pablo. Okay, so this is not going to happen until 3/26. One of the important things to consider about tasks, if you give people tasks weeks in front of when they actually need to do something, they're going to learn to ignore their task list. That's why task lists break down, because they're not relevant. They're not the things that need to happen right now. So we're going to spare this person and we're going to say, well, you know, you're supposed to start with them on the 26th, which is a Monday. So I'm going to start this. I'm going to make this on the 20th. So let's make this the 21st. I'm going to make this active. So on the 21st, I'm going to make this also at 10 a.m. 21st at 10 a.m. This instructor, Jennifer, is going to receive an email with this information about Pablo as a new student. Also, when they log in under my task, this task will be active, and it's not going to be red because it's not past due yet. It's going to just show up in gray. And they can see that it's about Pablo. It'll have a link directly to Pablo's account. Makes it really easy for Jennifer to access that information. But I'm also going to make this past due by, let's say, Friday the 23rd. I'm going to make this past due by noon, so 12 p.m. All right. At this time, on Friday 3/23 at noon, if Jennifer has not completed this task at that point, then I'm going to receive an email that says that this task has passed due. But also when I log into the system, I'm going to see this listed in my tasks that I have assigned other people as being red. It's going to be a red task now, signifying that it's now past due and I need to follow up with Jennifer. It's going to have Jennifer's phone number right there. It's going to make it really easy for me just to follow up with her really quickly. Also, another administrator can look at all tasks that may be past due for all instructors or administrators, and at that point the administrator can follow up and make sure that everybody's getting done what they need to have done. Alright, so I'll save that. Now, one other thing to understand, let's go ahead and we've got my tasks here. I'm going to go ahead and show the completed tasks. When I take a look, well, it looks like we don't have them here. When the instructor logs in and they view their task, there's a button on the right-hand side which will say completed or complete. When they click on that, there's a note that shows up that they can type in their completed note, and when they save that, that also gets sent back to the person who created the task. So that's tasks in the system. Very useful feature, making sure that we have communication with accountability. There's a second thing I wanted to touch base on really quickly, which is communication logs. And this is when a parent calls in, or an instructor, you're having a conversation, anybody that calls in, we can pull up an account. Let's say Pablo, let's say the parent calling in is talking about Pablo. Now I can see that Ashley is the mother, Pablo is the son. I can create a communication log. So this is about Pablo, and I can put, this is a conversation with Ashley. And then I can put the notes about the communication log here. And when I'm done, I can either save it or I can save an email. What that's going to do is it's going to send this note to Ashley as the parent of Pablo with the notes about what was said. This is a great way to make sure that we're in agreement about what's said. Again, some communication with some accountability. So if Ashley calls in a week and a half and somebody else is talking to her and she says, this is what we had agreed upon, we can look up the account. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We can go ahead and look at Pablo's account, click on his name, and from underneath his account, we can see his communication logs. He's got 14 of them here, and conversation with Ashley, and we can go ahead and view what that message was. So we can remind her, and we can also let her know that she should have received this in her email. So it's a great way to make sure that we're getting good communication with our clients and that we're tracking that information for future reference. Alright, so that's tasks and communication logs, our communication with accountability. As always, please give us feedback in the upper right hand corner. Feedback. This is if there's any questions or confusion about this tasks or communication logs, we'll use that information to get back to you, make sure that you have clarification about the process. We'll give you a phone call or an email, and also we'll use it to improve our video content and our help files.